Welcome back to the Real Femme Sapien YouTube channel where I give cultural commentary, and today we're going to talk about something that I actually know about very well. We're going to talk about the hate that you can expect being in an age gap relationship. And women, you better buckle up and take this stuff in, because if you're going to be with an older man, you're going to need a thick skin. I am so serious. If you don't develop a thick skin, I really don't know if your relationship is going to be able to handle the stress of the rumors, of the opinions. I'm telling you, I don't know why that particular dynamic of relationship attracts so much criticism, but it does. So if you like this content, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and hit the notification bell. One of the first things that you're gonna hear if you decide to pursue an age gap relationship is, "You are so young, you're so naive, you don't know what you're giving up for this man," as if you're not an adult. Okay, not everybody in an age gap relationship is out here getting groomed. And there is a difference between an older man loving a younger woman, both being adults, man, woman. That would implicate adult. This is not man, girl. Not man, girl, okay? You are an adult and you're allowed to make these decisions to be in an age gap relationship. And to be frank, people don't even really know what they think is too big or too small of an age gap. I've met women who have gotten married into 8-year age gap relationships where their husband was 8 years older and people still had something to say and pretended like the woman was a child bride. For me, I am in a 23-year age gap relationship, and any commentary that I give on this subject, keep in mind this has nothing to do with gold diggers. If you found this video and you're a gold digger, I just don't have any advice for you. If you're a young woman who just happened to fall in love with an older man, I got a lot that I can tell you. For the gold diggers, I'm sorry, sis, this channel's not for you. If you want to be an unethical human being, that's your prerogative. I just ask that you don't associate me in your shenanigans. But yes, they're going to call you young and naive as if you haven't thought about your life with this person, that you're not comprehending all of the risk factors, and there are some. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that that's a double standard. That's BS. And the reason why it is BS is because if you were a cougar, people would be praising you. Yas, queen. Yas, sis. Wow, he's so hot. Good for you.
Yes, queen, yes, queen, yes, queen. Yeah!
But let the man be older and everybody's out here tripping the storm. It doesn't make any kind of sense. Another thing that you're going to hear if you are in an age gap relationship is, you don't think that you might not want to have kids with a man that's older because what if he doesn't have any energy? What if his knees are bad? All of these excuses, as if we don't have these average bum baby daddies out here. There are a lot of fathers. You don't believe me? Go to a local sports event at a local elementary school, middle school, or high school. Go and look in the stands. Go and look at the dads. There's a lot of young obese dads out there. If you're with an older man who is fit or is not overweight or obese, you're already ahead of the game, because there are a lot of 35-year-old men who are more at risk of having heart attack than some older men. I'm just being real, looking at things like weight, diet, lifestyle, what have you. And sincerely, if you're probably going for an older man, he's not your average older man to begin with, because who really wants that unless, you know, you're the gold digging type, which I already have my opinions on that. But for the most part, he's probably not even your average dude. So if he's older and not your average dude, he's probably an ambitious man. There's reasons why older men get selected in sincerity, and that is true. So don't listen to that. If you want to have children with that man, have children with that man, because if you're going to give your kids a good father and they only have their father for 20 to 30 years, but that's a good man, that's going to be better than having 50 years with a father who's, you know, kind of okay. Only you know the quality of man that you're pursuing and dating. Often you will hear a critique as well that you don't really love this guy. You're just in it for the resources. Keep in mind, it is very romantic when a man protects and provides for his woman. So to you brokies out there that seem to have an issue with a woman being content, in fact feeling loved by protection and provisioning, I don't know what to tell you. And it's not like a bunch of older dudes are snatching up these women out here, because you can just look around at regular schmegular couples. I promise we're not all going for men that are twice our age. The standard is, on average, women are attracted to men that are about 4 years older than them. That's it. If you can't get women, it's your own thing. You go figure it out yourself. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe your mom should have been in an age gap relationship, so you had a Gen X daddy who can put some game on you. But you're going to hear that there's just no way that you could love this guy and you're just in it for the resources. Understand, it makes perfect sense that you're attracted to a man who has resources, because how else are you going to be able to be pregnant and swollen if you don't have somebody who can supplement the income, if not cover all of the income? A lot of the reasons why women pursue older men, it's because they would like to stay home and raise children, which is A-okay and totally allowed. It's fine if that's what you want to do. If you want to build with a man your age, you can. But if you fall in love with somebody who's older and established, who can really stop you? That's why on my channel, I try not to have too many opinions about men who decide to get into relationships with baby mamas, because honestly, you fall in love with who you fall in love with. Sometimes it's making necessity a virtue, and sometimes it's just not. And if you are being bothered by the fact that people think that you cannot love this individual, you can go ahead and look up the original Beauty and the Beast. That was a story where a governess was trying to teach her female students how to find love in men that they didn't think to look to immediately. But odds are, if you're sincerely in an age gap relationship, you already had some sort of inkling or drawing to that individual that, it just looks weird, but to you it feels totally natural. But if you don't believe that you can fall in love with a man that is outside of what most people consider appropriate, just go ahead and look over literally the original Beauty and the Beast story. It'll give you some insights. It's common in classical art and literature. This is not anything unusual, and the West seems to have a bigger problem with it than the East. In the East, there's tons of Filipinas that are married to older men. This is a phenomenon that I've been informed of by other Filipinos. I could be wrong. Y'all can argue with me in the comment section down below. Another thing that you are going to hear in an age gap relationship, I don't know why this would happen to your average woman, but this is something that has happened to me as a content creator, is you are going to hear that if you have children with this man, your kids will be autistic. And I've heard it from a lot of people. I've heard it from men. I've heard it from women. I've heard it from self-proclaimed red-pilled men, which I'm very confused, because I thought that the perfect formula, men don't have a wall, they could protect and provide, and women should be young and fertile, and you should go for this, just to be met with, hey, your baby's gonna have autism. I did some research and digging into this today for this video, and I am here to let you know there is no conclusive data that says old man sperm is causing autism. A lot of it is actually up in the air. Now, what does seem correlated to autism is senescence, so being an older human, but that is for men and it's for women. And my question is, who is aged more when it comes to reproduction? Is it men or is it women? My money is going to be on women. 50.1% of women are childless by age 30 in the UK. That 0.1%, that's a cultural tipping point. That's over half of these women that are choosing to be childless at that point in age. It is considered a geriatric pregnancy when you are 35 and you get pregnant. That's what it's considered medically. So if society is so willing to embrace women and older age motherhood and IVF, we need to also embrace the fact that there are men who can sire children over the age of 50, and they've got about the same likelihood as women when it comes to the risk factors that would result in autism. Keep in mind, you do have to consider the age of the woman's eggs. Basically, the longer you're on this earth, the more time your sperm and your eggs have to mutate. That's it. So it would behoove men and women to reproduce younger, but the information about older men is really inconclusive. The study that I have pulled up for you guys that you can find in the description down below, within the conclusion, basically states, considering solely the risk of neuropsychiatric disorders, current evidence does not suggest that men should be discouraged from having a child at an older age. Given the low prevalence of these disorders at baseline, even a 5-fold increase in the odds ratio under an assumption of strong de novo effects would yield a low probability that the conceived child will have autism or schizophrenia as a result of higher paternal age. Nevertheless, more evidence is still needed to provide men and their partners with informed, reliable, and accurate advice regarding the risks of delayed fatherhood. Remember, men reproduced in old age and past times. It's women that it's very new age that we are older and reproducing. But the gynocentric social order, the feminist social order, the powers that be, they don't want to have that conversation. And also, another thing to consider is the medications that women are taking these days when they're pregnant that they haven't been taken before. SSRIs are now being approved for pregnant women just for being moody. It's insane to me. I don't understand why, as a society, we're so quick to be like, is it the older men and their old man sperm? Is that what's going on? Or is it the older women? Or is it both? Is it just not wise in general? And does it increase your likelihood and odds of having a mutation when you decide to reproduce in older age? That's probably the truth of it. But girl, if you want to have kids with that older man, you go have kids with that older man, because there's tons of regular schmegular average dudes out here having kids. Let it go. Do not believe these people. You love who you love. Is it possible that your man will outlive you? Yes, but it's also possible every time you get in your car that you can end up in a car accident, but we're still driving. You can't live in a scarcity mindset. You do have to live in an abundance mindset, especially if you're going to pursue a relationship with an older man, because you are going to need it. You're going to need it. So in the description down below, I'm going to have a couple of resources, and we can see what you all think in the comments section down below. What are your thoughts about age gap relationships? Because as far as I can tell, the controversy is manufactured. Nobody cares when an older woman's with a younger man. It just seems like it's a lot of haterade when it's a younger woman and an older man. And ladies, if you're watching this, because my guess is you're in an age gap relationship, look, you're gonna get it from every which direction. A lot of opinions, they're like buttholes. Everyone's got them and they all stink. You're gonna hear it from men. They're gonna think that you didn't do something right because you owe men your age something. You do not. And you'll hear it from women. You're young, naive, being taken advantage of. Whatever. Only you and your man and God know whether or not your love is true and sincere. And if you want to have a fabulous love that is shorter, but you are more compatible with that man over a mediocre love that you get to have for an extra 20 years, girl, I'll just tell you to write your own love story and have a good time doing it. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.